All right, welcome back into Shed Talk. I'm your host, Sean. Y'all know I like to go around the country, get whenever I get a chance to interact with small business owners and entrepreneurs. And again, we have another good host coming in all the way from Idaho. This company right here, this is what gets the day started for a lot of people. Um, they actually sell coffee, and it's pretty good coffee. With no further ado, how you doing today, Brenda? I'm doing pretty good. Hey, I actually had the opportunity to go to your website and check out some of these different items that you have to offer for customers. What got you and your daughter into this line of work? What inspired y'all to do this?
Passion for coffee. Um, Coffee is our life.
Hmm.
My daughter has been a barista for probably close to 8 years, and I have about 30 years experience in business administration. So we decided to do business together.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So, is this actually out of like a building that you have the coffee that you sell it to people?
We are 100% trailer. It is an old 70s horse trailer converted to a mobile coffee trailer.
So you can be up anywhere,
Mhm.
wherever you're needed.
Yeah.
Now, is this something that you just do on the weekend, or do you have a set schedule?
Mostly on the weekends and some
Hmm.
evenings. We both have full-time jobs in addition to the coffee trailers. So sometimes our time is limited. And we also try to have a good work-life balance with that. But it's our busy season, so we will be working all the weekends.
Okay. So have y'all been down the path of is this a good idea, or do we really want to get into this?
I think, every few weeks we're like, what did we get ourselves into?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever, can you tell me a story whenever it was kind of overwhelming because you had so many customers?
Oh my gosh, yes. We have a huge weekend coming up. This will be our third year going to, they call it Dozer Days. Dozer Days is at our local Cabela's, and
Okay.
they bring in every kind of equipment imaginable and let the kids sit on the equipment, run the equipment, play big pieces of pipe that the kids can run through and play in, and sandbox. It's like a big giant Tonka truck world for kids.
So
It's
it's a lot of heavy equipment that they make available for the general public just to come out there and check it out.
Yes. And so the owners of that equipment, there's tons of construction companies that donate the equipment, the employees, all of their time. And so the equipment is manned by one of the operators. And then the kids can go, like if it's a backhoe, they can sit there with the operator and they dig a couple holes and move the dirt and then, kind of back and forth. They have fire trucks, SWAT team, all kinds of anything imaginable for kids to do. They pass out little hard hats and safety vests just as a little fun thing for the kids. And so we do that every year. We provide free coffee to the operators because they are there all day, every day, late into the night, getting everything set up. And then families come through. Last year, there was around, I think they said 6,000 people came through the door,
Six
and
thousand people.
6,000 people.
Were y'all sold out, or were y'all good to go?
Oh, we were good, but it was a long 2 days, and we are just nonstop from the time we get there until it's time to close up. And
You get a lot of reviews from a lot of the people. Have they came back and said, "Hey, this is pretty good coffee"?
yeah, they like it. We get a lot of good reviews.
That's awesome. You know what? I actually want to check out your website that you let me see here. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen over with you so you can walk us through some of the options. Can you see that right there?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about some of these things here? Like, what is a rainbow in a jar? What is that?
So Rainbow in a Jar, something we made for St. Patrick's Day. It's basically every color of Skittles in a jar to make it look like a rainbow with some Rolos at the bottom. people come up to get coffee or Lotus or drinks, and they're like, oh, this is cool. I got to get one for my kid or my grandchild, or I want to take one home. So those are big sellers, and we usually make something for each holiday or theme that we have going on.
What did you do for St. Patrick's Day? What did you have going on for that?
We did those rainbow ones. We did some candy kebabs. For St. Patrick's Day, so we wore green and all of our drinks were green themed. And they had the name Power. So one was like The Wire, one was A Shock. I mean, we come up with names that are relevant to that business.
What is this Red Bull Lotus? What is this drink?
So Red Bull is basically it's Red Bull in a can. You add flavor. You can top it off with orange juice or lemonade. Um, if you do a bucket, there's two Red Bulls in a bucket. Lotus is a plant-based energy drink. And again, you take the Lotus and then you mix it with your flavors of choice. Mm. Sassy soda, Sassy soda is our version of the dirty soda.
Okay. So then what's this protein balls? What are those? What are those? What is that?
That is, we have partnered with a local business who she makes protein balls. So it's pretty much a little ball full of protein.
Yeah, right. Kind of give you something to actually go with this coffee. That's I see it. Okay, I see it right here. Yeah, that's pretty cool there. See that stuff right there. Yeah. That looks yummy. That
And
looks real
she
good.
donates part of her sales to the Cancer Society.
Can't go wrong with that. Always a look out there.
Yeah.
Okay, I see the location on here as well. Now, walk me through how does your morning actually go as far as in getting set up for whenever you guys are out ready to go and sell some coffee. How walk me through the steps in the morning.
The trailer. So we have a small fridge inside the trailer. It's loaded with two different kinds of milk, alternative milks, whipped cream, half and half, Red Bull, club soda. It's all loaded into the fridge. Um,
Okay.
then we make sure we have all of our beans, and we load in a cooler of ice, and we have a big generator that we push into the trailer. Make sure it has fuel, make sure we have checked the oil. And then in the back of our truck, we have three giant coolers. So those are filled with backup milks,
Hmm.
backup ice, and anything else we might need. And a lot of it just stays in our vehicle because it's so much easier than trying to take it all in and out, except for obviously the refrigerated items do come into a refrigerator at night. That's kind of how we start our morning, and we start packing in, and we know everything has a place within the trailer.
Hmm.
And so if something gets out of place, it's almost like a game of Tetris. Things have to go on the floor during travel.
Hmm.
And so if they're not in the right place, then sometimes we have a mess.
All right, now let me ask you another question. As far as it when it goes through the process of this, tell me one story about when things did not go well for y'all that day.
We had an event for a local school,
Hmm.
and we had had a machine issue prior to this day where we had to cancel at the last minute. And it was right when we were machine, so we could not serve coffee. So our solution at 4:30 in the morning was to partner with our local coffee stand, and we had all the drinks pre-written out. We knew exactly what we needed, and to prepare them for us, we made I don't know, 5 or 6 trips between the coffee stand and this school. Each time we had the to go carrier holds 4 drinks, so we probably had 3 to 4 of those at each time. The last pass through, And we pull into the school, go around the corner. My daughter's holding a drink carrier with 4 hot drinks, and they all tumble over on top of her. Um, the son had just detailed my car.
Oh
So
no.
literally on my floor mat is like a puddle of hot coffee. And my
Wow.
daughter's wearing it, and it was in the speaker, like it was everywhere. And I started laughing, and she wanted to cry.
She got
But
hot coffee on her. She's not happy.
she's not happy.
Right, right, right.
And we were already frustrated because our machine had broke, but we didn't want to let these guys down. And so we went back and they gave us another, 4 pack of coffees, which we ended up getting back to the staff and we
Nice,
were happy.
nice. So tell me, being that's a bad story, tell me about a good experience to where y'all were like, you know what, this is actually worth it. This what makes us get up and do this every time. Can you tell me a story about that?
Still been able to get back in our community, preferred coffee vendor for our local parks and rec and our city. Our
What city
city,
is that?
it's the city of Rathdrum
And that's in Idaho.
in Idaho.
Okay.
They are building a new city hall, so they invited us to be a part of their groundbreaking ceremony. And for me, that was pretty special because they could
That
have
is?
invited anyone to come out, but they invited us to be there. So we definitely have a good name in our community. And it's just every day, it's like, this is why we do this. And
Okay.
some of those bad moments, but
Yeah, it's definitely like it's very rewarding. It's a long day, but it's very rewarding. Now, do you have one item on the list that is like everybody's favorite that seemed the majority of the people would go for?
yes, they love our buckets.
The buckets. What's in the bucket?
Bucket is a 34-ounce bucket,
Okay.
and you can do any cold drink. So if you do a Red Bull, it has 2 Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Then you add flavor and everything else. The Lotus, sassy sodas, Italian sodas. You can do iced coffees in there. If you do a iced coffee, it has 6 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely, but once you sell a bucket at an event, it's pretty much game over, and everyone wants to know where did that person get the bucket. So then everyone is coming for the buckets.
Everybody's coming for the buckets. Lining up. That's good. That's a good thing. Business is booming, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you know, if somebody would actually want to be able to reach out to y'all, actually they have I seen that we have the website. Is there another way that they can reach y'all on some type of social media platform?
We have Facebook, Instagram.
Okay, do you know those names of those? Or because if you don't, you know what, they'll actually be at the bottom of this podcast. So anybody that's listening or viewing on here, the links will be down below, so you can click on those. Also, is there kind of like a radius that y'all travel in, as far as in where you guys will go and set up shop? Okay, okay,
Stay for the most part pretty local. Every once in a while, we will travel.
okay, okay. That's awesome. So one other question for you, Brenda, is anybody that's out there viewing and listening, what good advice could you give somebody that is interested in getting into this line of work? Do you need like permits and stuff like that? Okay, so every city is different. Okay, have you?
Business license for our local city, Rathdrum.
Hmm.
Probably 90% of our business is in Rathdrum. We go to a neighboring city in Post Falls, and we have to get a business license in Post Falls. They also have very strict requirements from the fire department. So we have to have a certain size fire extinguisher. And they just have different requirements. So we have to make sure that we have those things ready when we do go to that city.
So you got everything lined up and you're ready to go. So basically, what you're saying for anybody that's out there listening, that do your research if you're interested in setting up a mobile coffee shop on the road and on the go. That's awesome. Hey, Brenda, I really do appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about your small business. And thank you so much. Thank you. Until next time, y'all, this has been Shed Talk.